Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. The opinions expressed in the following podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education and entertainment about the financial industry and the stock market. Enjoy!
On this episode of Pennies Going in Raw, we discuss the effects of the GDP, this week in the market, ranking top stock movies.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Oh, you guys know we only have a 40% runner. Hello, 40% is a fucking killing.
We've been compliant for too long. It's time we go to war.
I don't have a Roth.
Hugh knows so much about the market that his brain doesn't have enough room for grammar.
Hey, who told me about IDEX? It's going up a shit ton now.
We're up 4%, baby. No way. 4 fucking percent.
You asked the exact same question with 2 words different.
It's like, man, I just got dick whipped for like 20%, and now that f***er's up like 50.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
I'm just making this voice memo to call out unusual whales to a fight.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Pennies.
Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity of Dips, and Hugh Honey.
Produced by Vinny.
And Christian.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Pennies Going in Raw. Today is Sunday, July the 3rd, day before Independence Day. I hope everyone is having a great extended weekend. We got tomorrow off. We're recording this on Thursday right now. Anyone watching on YouTube can see that Hugh is actually at his parents' house, like the little child he is. But we're recording this Thursday after hours because I'm going to be gone. I'm leaving Friday morning. But right now, its SPY is at 376. We talked about the effects of GDP, and we saw on Wednesday the pop at the beginning of the day to 393 and closed around 380. I know we talked about it not playing as much of a role on the market as, let's say, the Fed meeting would, but it's kind of like a preemptive thing. Do you think that was like the same kind of aspect? Hey, we're getting a pop off of people getting excited about it, not exactly what everyone thinks, and then it's just a downtrend for the rest of the day and what seems like the rest of the week.
Yeah, I think people need to digest the move a little bit, and that's what we saw. As people digest, or the market digesting the move, and we really saw like the gap down overnight. So I think we talked about it that I pretty much I took puts overnight the other night. They went 60%, and then I took puts over last night. Those I ended up selling them for 100% on open. They ended up running
because
400%.
Right. Yeah. Today, if we're talking about Thursday, I mean you're seeing it. Opened down to 374, I think.
Yeah. And so well, it's funny because I had sold the puts that I had, and I only had like a few, like not even $1,000 in there or something, but I just making a little lunch money because I feel like when I start the day green like that, it helps me with when I'm trying to take like another play, even though my next play, a 1% loss will wipe that out plus some. But I just think that when I see the setups, I'm okay with taking them overnight. Like the same setups that I trade. Just the difficult part is that I know that that obviously like it can hit my target at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then I'm just kind of hoping that that the market stays where it's at for the next 6 hours. So I'm okay with taking stuff overnight, and it helps me. But it's funny because today, Thursday, I basically sold the lottos for like 100%, and 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh shit, like this is a short setup, and immediately I'm getting into like the puts right underneath the lottos, and I'm like, fuck. So today could have been a really big day, but and the other thing is that, like I said, like Dan said, I'm at my parents' home, so even I had taken a short at right around like what time is this, like 2:30, 3 o'clock or something, and 2:30, 3 o'clock on Thursday. and I'm filling the wrong account because I'm inside a different office. Like things are different. Shit, I'm using an Apple instead of a PC, and so I ended up filling the wrong account. So then I'm filling like my account. Now I got like double in what I actually want, and so I was just all over the place. But I think that inside this low volatility right now, or not necessarily low volatility, but it is low volume.
Low volume, high volatility.
Yeah. And actually Thursday today was pretty good volume. One of the things that we've been talking about in the last few episodes recently was the fact that volume has been terrible. So let me see. So starting July 21st, and obviously today's the 30th, we hadn't seen a day with over 100 million in volume until today. That's wild, especially because when we look back at like, I'm just going to pick like a random day, like January 21st, we were at almost 200 million. January 24th, we were at 210 million. Any day in February, we're over 100 million by far. Even March, after March, it starts to, there's like a little time period where we're sub 100 million, and then we go into May, and all of May most of the beginning of May, we're way over 150 million. So inside this low volume, I think that's probably part of what we see for the rest of the summer. And I still think that, we probably see, I tweeted out today about a giveaway. Whoever is closest by the end of the month on.
Yeah, I'll read it out real quick. So you said $500 giveaway. Yeah. Simply comment below what price you think SPY will close July 29th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So when market close, Hugh says his guess is 346.37. I said 351.77 after low at 338.72, but this is for $500. So essentially you can buy around 1.5 shares of SPY if Hugh's right. But everyone feel free to go comment on that. I mean, you got a month. Worst that could happen is you look stupid in the replies. But could you kind of give out your reasoning for your guess?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is that we're only an hour into this, and there's over 500 comments. I didn't think about this, but I'm gonna have to read through all them at the end of the month. So, geez. All right. Well,
so what
Christian,
you could do is at the end of the month, just search your name and then search the dollar amount that SPY is, and it should come up with just those. And then you should.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I love technology. Okay, sick.
Right.
But yeah. So my reasoning behind this is that I really think that we're seeing kind of like a stair step down, similar to what we saw inside 08. And so it's and we've talked about this a few times, but the pattern since I'll really say like we hit 479, and then we dropped all the way back down to 430, and then we popped back up to 450, then we popped lower to 420, popped all the way back up to 460, and then that's when things started to get really hairy. Because then we made like a quick stop at 440, and then it was all the way down to 420. Made a little pop back up, and then we were seeing like sub 400 quickly. And then obviously in June we saw a pop back up to 410 and couldn't get over the 420 mark. And then since then it's just been, we were inside that tight range for a week and a half, and then when it broke out of there, it's just ugly. We went from 410 to 360 in a matter of a few days, and then again is that we popped back up, couldn't even make it back over 400, and now we're rejecting that area pretty hard. So logically the next step would be, let's just say 350, and then pop back up to 370, let's call it, and then lower. Which is kind of where I got that number from, is because I don't think that they will allow. I just don't think that that market makers and big banks will allow the indexes to go down double digits in a month for the rest of the year. And the reason I say that is because they still have clients, and And the thing is that, and if you look it up, the average 50-year-old that has a 401k and has been invested for 30 years, their 401k is around $2 million. So if the indexes go down 10%, that probably means that they're losing close to $200,000. Now, the average American salary is around $50,000 to $60,000 a year. So could you imagine if they have to tell their clients that they lost 4 years of work essentially? Now, again, of course, some of that money is money that they made from investing in returns and stuff. But again, anybody who sees, especially if you're not Jeff Bezos, anyone who sees a sub $200,000 loss after seeing, like I'll call like the last few months like paper cuts, if you see a bunch of paper cuts and then you see a big one like this, that's where you start to see people get really scared about their 401ks. Like they work their entire lives. This is their retirement. This is what they're supposed to live on for the rest of their lives. And
why the fuck did someone tell me to get this thing?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like everything's all chipper and stuff for the last 3 years. But again, like in their mind, they're thinking that's how it's supposed to be. Like it's supposed to go up. Like that's what you told me it's going to do. And so when they start to see, and then, again, how many Americans do you think look at their brokerage accounts? How many Americans look at the S&P 500? They might watch the news every day and they might hear Dow down 300 points, S&P 500 down $30 or, whatever. But again, they're hearing about it and it's like, meh, okay, whatever. Up one day, down the next. But when they pull up the chart and they see the S&P was trading $100 higher at the beginning of the year, that's when, like that kind of like panic starts to ensue. Because, again, is that if we're at like 340 to go back to, I'll call it like 480, because I think that was the high, from if we get down to 340, back 480 is essentially 41% higher. So, that's a long way to climb, especially when you think about the average return of the S&P 500 is about 8 to 9%. So my point to all this is that I don't think that big banks will allow, same thing like we saw, a constant bid from that low today, starting at 10 a.m. I think that they will continue to bid the market and again, show that pattern of bringing it down, but again, not allowing it. It's really controlled selling right now. And I think that will continue. Like we're not seeing any real panic in the market. And I think that that's, I think that that's a good thing. But again, I'd rather just get it over with. Have like a 200 point down day in SPY one day, or something like that. Or I mean, not SPY, the S&P, or a 20 point down.
200 points down SPY, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, but something along those lines, because again, is that at the end of the day, their clients are still going to get statements at the end of the month, and believe me, it doesn't sound like a big difference, but the difference between that 7% and 10% makes all the world of a difference, because again, it's not a double digit, and I think that's the most important part and the key part to take away from this. So that's kind of where, again, is that following that same, to get down to that 345, 350 level would be about an 8% drop. And a lot of this does ride, in my opinion, on FOMC, because again, it's the same pattern, maybe we drop next week and then we bid up into FOMC, and maybe 2 days later or, the day after, and then we see new lows, so it'll be interesting. Maybe FOMC doesn't raise 75 basis points and the market catches a bid. But again, is that as long as the market continues to reject the 10, the 20, the 50-day, and the 200-day moving averages, I am not a long biased buyer. I'm looking at I like the daily charts, and today, or what was it, the other day, we rejected the 10. We've pretty much rejected the 20, and we haven't been above the 50 since April, and we only went above the 50 in April for 1 day, 2 days. So, that's going to be the one where I want to see them get above the moving averages, which, right now would be, for it to get above the 50 would be around 410. And so I'm going to want to see it get above the moving averages, hold above there, and then build off of that price. And I'm going to want to see the moving averages curl because as you can imagine right now, all the moving averages are pointing down to hell. So until that happens, I really think that until that happens, I think that we still see lower. And then the last thing that I'll say is that midterms are quickly approaching. And the one thing that I like to look at, if you guys have listened to the podcast for a long time, is that I'm a big fundamentally biased guy, which means that, I like fundamental analysis. I like digging into companies' financials. I like to see what things are trading at comparatively to their PE ratio over past history. And that being said, the market typically trades between a 16 to a 19 PE ratio. That's about 320 on SPY, for us to get back there. So that's about where parity is. So not even undervalued. Like, let's not call things undervalued. That's where parity is. And that's where that's where we typically trade at. So I personally feel that anywhere between that 315 to 330 range is probably going to be low, and into midterms, the market starts to catch a bid because, of course, midterms are coming up, and no matter what side you're on, it's in your favor for the market to be catching a bid. So I think over the summer we see 350, 340, maybe range a little bit, and we see one last flush out. And I want to see a really big volume week on that last flush down to like 320 area. And then I think that we can slowly start to bid it back up in the midterms. That's kind of like my overarching thesis and reasoning behind it.
All right. Well, it's kind of crazy thinking like midterms are already like coming up. It just seems like we just got done with the election, but I guess when you're trading, shit just seems to happen a lot faster.
Yeah.
All right. Well, kind of moving forward, are there any sectors that you kind of see going into the midterms that could, help out the general public?
Yeah. So coincidentally, as we know it, typically the summer is not a big deal for politicians. Typically, things kind of slow down. Well, for trading, for everybody, especially because politicians typically have their break in August. And so things kind of start to wind down, maybe there's like a few bills, so that they can say that they did stuff, but pretty much politicians pretty much shut down for the summer right around, now maybe a little bit later after 4th of July. And coincidentally, though, there's a lot of things that will decide the future of the economy over the next 12 to 16 months. And one of them is going to be oil. Oil is a simple supply and demand issue. Obviously, we demand oil for literally everything. Every single thing. I mean, that's the only way to put it. And currently right now, we cannot import enough oil, and we sure as hell can't produce enough. And someone who can, his name is MBS. He's from what I've heard, he's not the greatest guy in the world. And however, he has the
Prime
opportunity
Minister of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And hang on, I can actually tell you.
Yeah. Saudi Arabian Prime Minister.
But his real name is I won't call him by
Mohammed
his
bin Salman.
Is that really what?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if in Alabama we call it salmon. Everywhere else is salmon. So obviously, tomato. Anyone that kills American journalists, we will mispronounce your name on accident or purpose.
Yeah. Again, so he's kind of, a bad dude. Actually, no, he's definitely a confirmed bad dude.
See, before having the podcast, you could kind of say shit and be like, damn, is this? And then you see like how many countries listen and you're like, damn, can I say this about this guy? Like whenever the Russia-Ukraine shit started, I was like, fuck. Because, there's a lot of Russians. But then you see like the general population of them are like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up too. So we're just going out on a limb and assuming all Saudi Arabians aren't big fans.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think we can say that he's a confirmed bad guy. He's a confirmed bad guy, but he's a very rich guy and he's a very powerful guy. And so he has an opportunity. Well, let me see. He has an opportunity to help our oil crisis. However, Biden has said a few times that he would, and I'm not quoting, don't quote me exactly,
not sacrifice his ethics to go visit a douchebag. However, he's got to help out the American people as much as he can.
Yes. So in July, he's going to see MBS and try and convince him to sell us oil. Now, the thing with that is, again, what Dan just said. And then in addition to it is that MBS is not picking up Biden's phone calls. So Biden feels it's a good idea to go and visit him.
Well, dude, the last fucking person that took his phone calls was Jeff Bezos, and he ended up hacking his shit and linking his dick pics and getting them divorced, dude. I want to know my answers.
Yeah. Well, so and here's the thing is that the whole point of this is that depending on what happens with MBS, because again, MBS is a businessman, and it sounds like Biden is trying to keep this strictly business. So if they strike a deal, oil could see a major pullback. Now, again, that depends on on what the deal is, obviously. But again, is that if we're able to supplement our current import with their oil, then oil would see a massive pullback. Like, I'm talking, we could see sub 100 in like a week, and that would put a real ease. That would put a real ease on gas prices. Now, obviously, there's a lag between oil and gas prices. It's about 3 to 4 weeks, but that would put a real ease on the price of gas, and obviously, the cost of goods. And of course, as we know, oil puts pressure on the market. The higher oil is, that typically puts pressure on the market, similar to how currencies work. And so when, if oil were to pull back, then the market has a chance to rally hard. Now, when I say has a chance, I mean that would be the bull's chance to basically regain control. As we know right now, bears are in full control. Every single pop that we've seen recently has had a massive for sale sign on it, meaning that it's literally just like the last few times that we popped, you missed your selling and you didn't sell and you weren't quick enough. And now, you're not going to get the best price for it, but it's a chance to sell your longs. And so if they do reach an agreement with MBS and oil, let's just say gets sub 105, 100, then the bulls have a chance to stop this downtrend. And the other important thing that is this month is FOMC, which is middle of the month. And again, we're going to see what they want to raise it. So if they raise it, let's just say that they put pressure, that Powell feels that that inflation is, that their plan to bring down inflation is starting to work, then we might see a potential where where the Fed doesn't raise 75 basis points. I think the consensus is that July would be raised 75 basis points, just because that's what needs to be done. However, if the Fed, and we talk about this a lot, changes their stance from hawkish to, let's just say, okay, and that the plan is working, and they only raise 50 or 25, that would again give the bulls a chance to break this downtrend. Now, if those two things happen all around the same time, that's going to be the bulls' best chance. If the bulls can't get this downtrend broken, with both of those going in their favor, which again, I think there's a greater chance this month than last month for FOMC to go inside the bulls' favor. And again, is that knowing MBS, he's a businessman, or again, I obviously don't know, but from everything that I've read, it seems like he's a businessman. And so if Biden comes to the table with the right price, I wouldn't be shocked to see if we did strike a deal.
Yeah,
but again,
36-year-old with fucking billions of dollars in like a whole fucking massive ass country. Business. He's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
Yeah. And so I think that, again, is that those two things I believe are happening around the same time. I will check real quick. So when he goes to visit the Gulf Corporation Council, Biden will meet separately with both King Salam and MBS. And that's, of course, where they will talk. And so that'll be really interesting to see how that goes. Because, like I said, is that this is the best chance that Bulls have, in my opinion, to break the downtrend before midterms. If both of those things do not go in their favor, or let's even say that they go in their favor, but they're not able to break that downtrend, they're going to be in some trouble. Like I'm talking like 320, which is another 50 points down from where we are currently. To another 27 points, actually. I mean, what did I say? 50? Yeah, 57 points. So that's the best opportunity that I think that Bulls have inside the near term. Or we're looking at, a tough Q3 for Bulls. And again, is that maybe this year is just going to be the year of the bear. But again, is that if Bulls want to regain some kind of control and make back some money, this is going to be their best chance. Bringing oil down and FOMC, because going from hawkish to kind of changing the tide a little bit.
All right, well, we were gonna close this one out with because we got some feedback on our me saying that margin call had a disappointing ending. We found an article, 15 greatest Wall Street movies, and we were gonna go over them. And what we're also going to do for the first one that both of us haven't seen, or if there's one that we just insist the other one sees, we're going to watch it and get back to you next Sunday on it. So this one, number one, and I think this one just seems too easy for me. It says the movie Wall Street. Have you seen it? 1987 film, I believe.
Yes. I always wanted
Thoughts
to
on
Ducati
that
after
being number
watching that.
one. Gordon Gekko. Thoughts on it being number one? I mean, overrated.
Yeah, I get it.
Mhm.
I get it. It just feels like the Wall Street bro of the 80s. What's he make? Like $50 million in a year. He wears a suit. He's a good-looking guy. He kind of walks in every room and he's the boy,
Yeah,
so
dude, he walks in a room, his dick's been there for 5 minutes before he got there. We've seen this guy before.
Yeah, so from that perspective, I get it. But me personally, I enjoy the more of the crisis mode of 08,
But
acting like I'm inside.
Charlie Sheen though. Charlie Sheen in his prime. I can't remember.
Yeah.
When did this movie come out?
I want to say the 80s, because I think it was.
1987.
87,
Damn, that's way before
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's prime. I'd say Charlie Sheen's prime is 2005, middle of 2.5 Men, right before he went on the whole Tiger Blood shit. All right, well, and the quote from this one is, greed is good, greed is right, greed works, greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Number 2, The Big Short. I'm taking this one all day long. I think it's the best stock movie ever made. The way they put it, the jargon, they have explanations. You got Margot Robbie in a bathtub. I mean, what else could you want?
Okay, I do like The Big Short a lot. Okay, I'm with you. I like The Big Short a lot. I don't know. It's similar, my critique about the Wall Street was it just feels a little too Wall Street bro. I like it, but
I feel like it was so real. You had those people, the one that fucking Michael Scott, whatever fucking Michael Scott's actor's name is, plays, and he's such he's so all over the place. And you got the numbers guys, You've got the people that are so, oh, I'm the shit. You got the calm, collected guys that just had to be like, shut up, guys. It's all going to work out, like Michael Burry. I don't know. I feel like it did a good job of encapsulating all types of traders.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't know. I just think it's a little cheesy, honestly. But that's just, that's just me.
Okay, well, the line from it is Wall Street loves to use confusing terms that make you think that only they can do what they do. Pretty true. Number 3, The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm very okay with that being in the top 5, top 3.
God, no. Get that shit out of here.
I mean, it is good.
Get that shit out of here.
You really don't like Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
You've been fucking Jordan Belfort, I guarantee, at least 3 times for Halloween.
I have been Jordan Belfort a few times, but that's just because like who the fuck, like, if okay, realistically, if I dress up as Jamie Dimon, who the hell is gonna, some girls are gonna be like, oh, you're Jamie Dimon? Yeah, like, that's cute.
Bullshit. Wolf of Wall Street's a great movie.
No, that movie fucking blows. The acting is good.
And Margot Robbie's in that one too.
I totally agree. The acting is fantastic. The movie sucks.
Number 4, Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps.
Fantastic. Higher up on the list.
I need to rewatch it. Good line from it. You stop telling lies about me, and I'll stop telling the truth about you.
That one might be honestly my
this
number
is the
one.
The sequel to Wall Street.
Yes, it is. And that one might be my favorite one because when I was young and I was like making $50 trading, I was like, one day I want to be, how do you say his name? Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. No, I was like, I'm going to wake up in my penthouse. I'm going to go downstairs inside my nice Armani suit or Tom Ford suit. I'm going to drive my Ducati to work. My boss is going to hand me a fat bonus. I'm going to be living life. It's going to be sick. Like, that's so, it's more of like a childhood dream thing than like the actual movie itself.
All right, well, I guess in that case, Lion King 2 is the best fucking movie of all time. All right, well, number 5 is Boiler Room. My opinion, a little overrated.
I turned it off.
Okay, I watched the whole thing. When I first started trading stocks, dude, I was like, you fucking put anyone inside the pit, dude, and I'll fucking be there. But yeah, quote from a piker asked how much vacation you get in your first year. Vacation time? You want vacation time? Go teach 3rd grade public school. No offense to any public school teachers. Number 6. I know you'll like this one. They actually include the whole fucking series, Billions. The whole series.
Like the show.
Yeah. They were like, this is such a good...
I like that show.
All right. Number 7, I'm okay with putting this at number 7, Margin Call. Fuck Margin Call. Said it once.
I like Margin Call. I like Money Never Sleeps, Margin Call, and Billions.
Dude, the ending, it's just like, hey, I made it out. Thank God. Yeah, I'm like, dude, give me at least fucking fill the end of the movie with a black screen with white text and pictures of people going to jail and saying like, this guy did this guy ended up doing this guy did this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I still like it though.
8, they have American Psycho. I actually haven't seen American Psycho.
No.
9 is Gold, and 10 is Arbitrage. Have you seen either of those?
No.
We may have to watch one. I think American Psycho may be the one that people tell us to watch. But if we're going on like extras, how about Too Big to Fail for honorary mention?
Yeah. Again, like pretty cheesy for me. Like,
okay. But you're more of a China hustle if we're going documentary stuff.
Yes, 100%.
You want the real shit. You want the investigative journalism. But I think that's what The Big Short was like. It was like investigative journalism of just fucking dudes doing real blue collar DD.
Okay.
Going to strip clubs, finding out the fucking real estate market's crashing. That's blue collar DD right there. Go to strip clubs and do your DD.
Okay, I'm going to change it. I do like Too Big to Fail. Okay, a fuck ton more than goddamn Wolf of Wall Street. That fucking movie, oh God, my mom is going to be so mad for me cursing. Too Big to Fail, I do enjoy. It just feels a little long sometimes, like they dragged it out a little bit. Especially like towards the end, like just give us the fucking bazooka and then let's go. But I do like Too Big to Fail.
All right. So another one. I actually just watched this 2 days ago, which is what made me think about this. It was Money Monster. I made it through about 3/4. So have you seen it?
Nah.
It's about like a Jim Cramer dude, and he's on the screen, and then a dude fucking comes in to his set with a gun and is like, dude, you made me lose so much fucking money, and kind of like hijacks the show, and he basically has quote unquote Jim Cramer like gun to his head the whole movie as like he tries to make it right.
Should I watch it tonight?
I mean it's not bad. I watched about 2/3 of it. Got a little boring. It was just one of those hostage movies where I'm like, all right, dude, I made it an hour and we're still a hostage. Like you can kind of figure out what's gonna happen at the end. But like the first like 40 minutes of it, like the concept of it, dope.
Okay. Okay.
Two extra ones. Honorary mentions. Not exactly all trading, but a good portion. And I like them both. Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's going to be a stockbroker. Gotta save the kid. And the other one, Limitless. I love the movie Limitless, and I like how dude, if you got the ability to use all your brain and you just started fucking like that'd be dope. And just go fucking start day trading billions.
I do like billions. I'm a big fan of billions.
Oh, not billions. I meant day trading billions of dollars worth.
Oh, whoa.
Limitless is a dope ass movie. I fucking love it.
Maybe I'll put that one on the list.
Oh, have you not seen Limitless?
I haven't.
It's the movie where the dude takes the pill and he can access all of his brain. And just one of the random shit he starts doing is he's like, fuck it, I'll just start day trading. And that's just like a 10-minute portion of the movie where he just becomes like the best trader of all time.
Really? It's called Limitless?
Limitless. Yeah, they made it into a TV show, but the movie's fucking badass. You'll love the movie. It's Bradley Cooper. It's really good.
Like more than I'll like it more than Money Monster?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like it is like objectively like Limitless is like a great movie. Like really good. Money Monster, if you're just looking for like strictly stock bullshit, but Limitless is like a great movie.
I guess I know what I'm doing tonight.
You should definitely watch it and keep me posted because you'll love it.
All right, brother. That's what I'm doing.
All right, guys, go watch Limitless. Today's episode is sponsored by Bradley Cooper, featured in Limitless, the hit 2012 movie that Warner Brothers is looking for around 200 more downloads. So go listen to that, and I'm just playing. But yeah, no, good movie, and hope everyone has a great 4th of July. And we will see you all next time. We've got a great interview maybe coming for you Wednesday, unless we record and keep it in the bank. But more than likely, you guys will be getting a good options interview on Wednesday. So we'll see you then. Peace.
Pennies Going in Raw is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.